says we're live. Let me check on here real fast. We're good to go.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to call to order the meeting of Kingsburg Downtown Business Improvement District Advisory Board. It is, what is it? 8:03. Where are we open to public comment? Thank you.
For people to come in, yeah, so you could see if anyone wants.
Any public comment at this time? No? Sorry. Okay, so we're going to move on to item number 3, approval of minutes from the meetings of 2/2/22, 2/4/22, 2/17/22, 3/2/22.
A little behind.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, first from Amanda and a second from June. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item number 4. Billboard discussion, Ms. Jolene Poliak, Economic Development. Good morning.
Good morning. So, as some of you might be aware, I've been looking for a digital sign partner, like maybe K Corporate Center sign, or the Fairfield sign, or the Business Park sign, that we could communicate with Highway 99 traffic coming and going to our events and anything that we have going on there. And it's really stalled. It's not moving as quickly as I would have hoped. So then I was driving on 99 to Tulare, and I noticed the digital sign at Merritt Drive. And I thought, that's really a better place anyway, because you've got the LA people coming and they can be talking in the, car and say, hey, you might want to pull in at Kingsburg. It's just far enough away that maybe you could do that last minute. So I reached out. It's maybe a short-term answer until we can get a more permanent solution. But I reached out to the company, and it's $3,000 for 4 weeks, and you share the space. So it is, there are 8 spaces, and each one is for 8 seconds. So every 56 seconds, your ad would show up. So it wouldn't be the entire time. It revolves. But if there's not 8 people purchasing, then you have more time. So it just depends on who else is purchasing at that time. So I ran it by the Economic Development Committee, and they were open to discuss it, but they didn't want the city to be the only entity that was pitching in for it. So they thought if the bid and the chamber maybe also pitched in, that maybe it would be something we can do. And I know that the bid have the means this year because of all the groundwork that they're doing, but maybe this is something that we could do in 2023. So at this point, I just wanted to throw it out there and see if that would be something that you guys would consider partnering with.
So, the city, what are they going to put on? What are they going to be putting on screen? Just visit Kingsburg chamber, or can we then sublet it to individual businesses within the bid?
I wasn't really seeing it as to individual businesses. I was seeing it more as events that are happening, agritourism that's happening, anything like that that's for Kingsburg itself, not necessarily for an individual business. And I think that would be problematic if we tried to sort that out. And it's not even that the city council, they haven't heard this yet. It's more, I'm just kind of reaching out and seeing if it was even something plausible, because if nobody else wants to do it, then I don't think the city will do it.
So it'd be like, we wouldn't do it like the month of April to help promote car shows, the month of May to promote Blues Festival.
Yeah, Joey, would you go into the discussion that we had, like, you don't have to sign up for an entire year, the type of, you can pick your month, isn't that correct?
Yeah, it's 4-week intervals. I did ask if there'd be a discount if we did a longer term, and there would be $27.50 if you did a year.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we would really want to do that. I mean, I wouldn't even want to do that if I had that opportunity. I'd want to test it first and see if it is something. And yeah, we could promote our festivals, but we could also just promote, come, even
Yeah.
dine or play here, and whatever we got the, agritourism logo that we had created that we didn't get to use this COVID. So, there's all kinds of things that we can do just to get creative about how we pull people off the freeway. And I think June had alluded to this on Highway 5, down the road a bit, but this is a little bit closer. I like it just because it's fresh, you may see it as you're driving and you still have time to decide to pull over.
So the 3,000 for 4 weeks, so if we could get everybody on board, we'd be splitting it 3 ways?
We could do it that way. Again, we haven't run it by the city council, so I don't have approval from anybody on this. I have approval from the Economic Development Committee to explore it further. That's about as far as I am right now with it. So it's pretty early, but we have months, because we decided to do this in 2023, as part of the budget process. But yeah, I would imagine it would be 3 ways split, but I don't know.
How soon can we get them on?
She said April of this year.
Okay, if we wanted.
If we wanted to, right, because if you drive by it now, I think there's only 2 or 3 on there, so there's room for more.
My suggestion would be if we're, I said, from the Economic Development Committee, I was in favor of it, and so therefore, of course, I'm in favor of this, especially when we get to share costs. That's always a plus. The other thing is, I would think that we would want to approach the city sooner than later, because their budget starts at July 1, is that correct? So part of even the 2023, we would like to get in. If we're gonna do it, I'd love to see us get in on the fall, winter, a month. Fourth quarter to, on this thing, rather than wait until 2023.
Well, of course,
Because
before
fourth
that.
quarter is,
A great time to bring people to town.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And everyone says that, I think the Swedish Festival and then the holidays are our best looking time, so if you're gonna bring somebody to town, those are good times to do it.
if they get 8 people that are assigned, other people that have signed multi-month type of thing, then we're out, is that correct?
yes, that would be true, if they're already booked.
But there's only 2 right now.
I think so, the last time I drove by, I only saw
Yes, me too.
And it's the same graphic for the whole month, the duration of the month.
I think we can change it. They have a graphics department, so we'll be able to change it. She
And
said that.
that doesn't
They'll
cost
change
any
it throughout the
extra.
month though?
She said it, but, yeah, it sounded like it would be pretty easy if we
Okay.
had an idea.
Just because if you start in May and the Swedish Festival's over, you're gonna wanna change
Yep.
the graphic, for
Yeah.
example.
I think they would be fine with that. It just didn't seem like it was a big deal at all, and they had their own people.
I recently went to Southern California, the Palm Springs, Palm Desert area, and I was watching for digital signs. There are some that were very effective that I saw. I think I saw a total of 4 or 5 on, that I noted. And there were some that had way too much information,
Yeah.
and it was just like a blur,
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just,
exactly.
it didn't catch my attention. Simplicity has to be
Yeah.
in the forefront of this whole thing.
Yeah, it's journalism 101, and I scratch my head because there's so many ad agencies out there that don't do that, and I just
Yeah.
don't understand. This is like basic marketing. Fewer words, the better. Look at Coors has it down to a science. They have 2, maybe 3 words, and they're really big, and you get it. The rest is just visual,
yeah, I just saw a flyer and somebody's wanting to go down, I was like, whoa, you don't even know, because people just look at it, they don't even know where to start.
Yep, exactly. Especially when it's just 8 seconds, you just want it to be 2 words or whatever. Kingsburg equals fun. I mean, something, we can.
Dollar Delight.
Dollar Delight, yeah.
Fun,
Yeah. Yeah, something that's very simple.
Turn right for Pika.
Yeah.
And then I know that there was talk, there's also digital signs between here and Selma, but I don't find those as attractive because I don't know how many people are gonna be coming southbound
Mhm.
that would want to stop in Kingsburg.
They've already hit Fresno
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah, so I think our better strategy would be the Merritt Drive one.
This rate is considerably less than the one that I quoted in Fresno.
Oh, really?
Like, I'll support it to you for comparison, but it was way more expensive than this one.
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
when
the
people
location.
call me about the Selma one, this is less.
And I like what you're saying, to approach it before you enter town. That makes the most sense,
Right.
to try to make that quick decision to exit and move downtown.
Yep.
So, we're looking for a vote that said we're in favor of this, and we would consider putting funds towards this with through a partnership.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for?
Mhm.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
When you gonna talk to Chamber?
Well, I was hoping that Chamber would be here, but, so I'll contact them and get on their
Do you
agenda.
want me to go?
If you want, sure.
And just say, yeah, that this board is interested?
Because then, yeah, so then it'd be the two boards or committees or whatever you want to call them, would be there to represent.
Well, let me know.
Okay, all right, I will reach out to them.
Awesome, thank you, Jolene.
Thank you.
Okay. Other reports from board members. We have an email this morning from Lauren. She was unable to join us today. And she had an email from Kimberly Hospital, doing our photography for our website development. And it says, "Hi Lauren, everything is going great as we pass the midway point of the bid photography project with our businesses. After speaking with Ron of Five Creation Group, I find it necessary to address the current agreement and possibly extend it to incorporate more photography of downtown life. Please see the attached letter and the details of the requested budget extension and let me know if we should meet." Kim Hoff. So Kim is asking for an extension of her contract, which I know we're not going to vote on today because it's not on the agenda. I'll just read her letter to us. "Dear Kingsburg Downtown Business Improvement District, we are halfway through the bid photography businesses. What a fun adventure it's been to be. Per my many conversations with Lauren Cooper, I made time to consult with Ron of Five Creative and the bid website concept and design and layout to get a better feel." Ron concurred. The bottom paragraph, "I would request the additional funds in the remaining budget to be allocated for the taking and processing of these town ambiance photos. This would be an additional $1,320, bringing it to the contract to the allotted total budget of $15,000 for the completion of the project. A limit will not be placed on how many heart and soul photos are taken, as every opportunity will be used to capture these shots as I see them. They will not be staged photos, but actually photographed as they are happening, showing the true, real-life ambiance of our town. Please inform me of your decision so I can allot the extra time and pop in on weekends to catch our visitors and residents in action. Kindest regards, Kimberly Kennedy Cox." So, we're gonna abstain on this and put it on, and ask to put it on the agenda for the next meeting, correct?
You guys could discuss it, but
Uh-huh.
you can't take action.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thoughts?
so if I'm hearing it right or digesting it right, it sounds like we're looking for more of she was hired to do the businesses and that, and she's looking more, or Ron is, for more candid things of activities going on and that. And my question would be, we used to have somebody that was an employee of the city, no longer an employee of the city, they used to take phenomenal photography, photos. Are there some that we have, the city has, or the chamber has, great, shots of of downtown, you know, of things going on downtown, the Swedish Festival. I know we've got photos of dancing around the Maple. I know we've got some great photos that we can use, you know, in the timing, you know, yes, they might be from 2 years ago, but there's no date on them. I mean, as long as there's not a 1978 Oldsmobile in the photo, you know, then they're not gonna know that when it was taken, type of thing. I just, there's gotta be some photos out there. The chamber has to, or the city has to have some, or, you know, some photos out there.
I think Jolene knows our struggle about photos, like, we might have some, but we don't have, I mean, we could compile them together and I could send them to you guys, what we have. We don't have great marketing photos of the town.
I had, Visit Fresno County, I think, had reached out to us at the holidays and asked for a photo of the Christmas tree lighting, and we were only able to find 2, and I forwarded to Abigail, and
Yeah.
sent word out, and we're like, there's gotta be pictures,
I
right?
mean, I have pictures of my kids at the Swedish Festival dressed up to dance, like,
But there's no database.
there's no, like,
Okay.
There should be, though, it's a really good idea.
yeah.
I used to go, I forget his name now.
Jim?
Jim.
Yeah.
Crowfoot.
Yeah.
I used to go to Jim Crowfoot, and he would give me,
Those are the only photos we
large
have.
photo.
Yeah.
We have Michael Miller. He's done some really, really good ones. I tried to actually hire him, and
Yeah.
he said, no, I'm a realtor. This is my hobby.
Maybe-
But we have to, and in order to use his, we have to get his permission every time.
Yeah, and
But
maybe
he's got
he
some really good
will.
ones.
He does have some good
He's
ones.
got a flair for it, for sure.
He's great.
So
Yeah.
the idea is to first try to resource what's already been taken, already been done, before we go spend additional budget.
Well, we've got the time to do it. We can't vote on it today anyway.
Right. So give a month to
So
like,
maybe
see what we
can
can
look.
round up.
And maybe Mike would be, you know, let a few of his, you know, give permission for a few of his to go on this website.
If he has the drone ones.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Swedish Festival, right, where and those are really nice.
Yeah.
Some are a little bit too far away, you know, to get the true, feeling, the warm fuzzy feeling of downtown Kingsburg for the festivals, but they do give an overall view of the, you know, the community.
And Laura North had that one with the rainbow, that was
Yeah.
on behind your building.
Yes.
We can maybe crowdsource a little bit. I
Yeah.
mean, I know Carol's a good photographer. There's people that live here and take photos like
You
this.
can put it in the carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have about 30 pictures to give you guys.
That'd be
Do
great.
you
I've been out taking pictures of, not people,
Yeah.
but of
Ambiance.
stall of horses, and the paseo, and the mural, and the tower. Because I told him, I go, hey, can you help save us a little bit of money? So I have like 30 pictures
That's
of
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
That we're going to just give.
That's
And
cool.
there's some vineyards and things like that too, that he's been taking and things like that too. And there's some farm pictures. If you guys, I mean, it doesn't really pertain to us, but I mean, he might use them in the background or whatever. So Craig has like 30 pictures to give, but not of people. We haven't gone in like, you know, on Sunday and taken pictures of people getting coffee or anything
So
like that.
maybe we need to look and see if we can supplement
Mhm.
this whole process with people like Greg, who's, you know, he's not professional, but he's darn close to it as far as I'm concerned. I've seen his work. And, you know, and just go out there and see if we can find some of this stuff, you know, that thing.
So if we ask, are we gonna ask the community if they have photos, or are we gonna look at Craig's and?
I will email you folks what he has,
Well, but,
so you can look at it.
but the Abby's question is, do we want to look at these few people and ask permission of Mike and Craig and all that? And then if that's not adequate, go out to the community? Was that your question?
Yeah, 'cause I don't wanna put it out there and have photos like being sent to me if it's not, if we have enough.
I do remember before we voted for this contract, I asked that if on the website we could have multiple photographer photos, and everyone said, once you have a contract, this is all we're using, but we can use them incorporate them on social media or whatnot, so just wanted to clarify that. We
Yeah.
could
Yes,
probably-
the contract doesn't, it's not just my
Limiting us.
photos, yeah.
Okay. just to clarify.
I will say, just food for thought, as far as like, her photographing people, that there would be a continuity from what she's doing with our businesses
Right.
to people, you know, just candid. There would be that continuity in her editing style and her colors that she's using and all of that. So that might be something that we might want to think about. You know, I'm just listening to photographers talking in the back of my head. But then, absolutely like murals and doll horses and things like that, you know, and we could ask whoever we take those pictures from, that they could be edited to have those same tones that Ron's got. So there's not like somebody who edits in vivid HD, and I haven't seen her pictures yet, and see how she's edited them.
If
They
you
might be
go,
more-
on her Facebook, she put the previews for downtown. Mhm.
Okay, yeah,
Really good.
yeah, that's just the one technical thing that I would think might come up.
Yeah, cohesiveness. So why don't we put it on the agenda for the next month, but we spend the next month trying to rectify it without additional budget?
Yeah, and then, Ron's meeting that he wants to have, you know, I was gonna bring those pictures so he could see and see if they would work. Okay.
Would it be out of line of this organization to ask, since our previous agenda item, we talked about a co-op with the chamber and the city and us for the billboard, would it be out of line for us to look at talking to the chamber and to the city about creating a database of some of these photos, for not only this project, but for another project, as you were asked, you know,
Anything
to
that
have
city
that,
purchases.
and let's share in the costs of maybe that, creating this database of current photos of events of Kingsburg. And of course, if the city and the chamber are involved, it can't just be downtown, it needs to be the entire community, but we can pick and choose from this database, you know. The historical park may have something that we could draw from, you know, too, that might be kind of interesting, you know. I was thinking of, Amanda, your comment, you know, I know they have photos of the first Christmas tree that went up, where they actually went up and chopped it down and brought it down as a real Christmas tree, and they have some of those photos. So that might be a comparison of,
Yeah.
this was then and this is now.
The history of it.
Visit Kingsburg, you know, through a long history of celebrating Christmas.
And that's the kind of stuff that we would love to put on social media too. All of these kind of history, heart and soul photos, that's the kind of stuff.
You know, on the chamber computer, if you're ever in there, I always see it at our Swedish festival meetings, is a continual, they must have hundreds of pictures. Some are good, some are great, some are not, you know, all kinds. But what you don't want is posed people standing in a row, you know. But I like what she was suggesting, getting all candid.
Okay, so we all have our homework before the next meeting. Is that a true statement?
True statement.
And we're asking Abby to also go out on some, like in a courier and all that, and ask for.
When's the next time that goes out?
Oh, it goes out every Thursday. I would have to have like the intern put a flyer or something together.
Okay, so, let's email pictures we find. How much time does she need?
To put a flyer
Yeah.
together. I'm not sure, since I'm leaving this afternoon, I don't know if we'd be able to get it out this week, because
No, I don't want to.
I'd want to review it before we post anything.
I would like to give us all this week and then next week to see what we can find.
Yeah, because if we open it to the public, there's probably great photos out there. I just don't know what my inbox, like, we'll probably get, I mean, I think my kids are the cutest. I'm thinking as like a mom that works here and lives here, I would send every picture of my kids at the Swedish festival, so I don't know, it could be, I might have to figure out a way to,
Submit 1 or to 2 photos,
yeah.
even then you can get.
Is that gonna be in the minutes of this meeting that your kids are the cutest?
I'll be sure to put that in there. But, yeah, what I'm trying to think of, like, how am I going to share all those photos with you guys?
Right.
Yeah.
So my hope is that when we do our homework, before next Wednesday or Tuesday, we have enough, we've gathered enough that you're not going to have to do that.
Yeah, okay.
That's my hope.
So that works. You guys
We'll
Let you
figure
know
out what you have, send them to me, and,
Okay. We know who's going to contact Craig Carpenter, who's gonna contact Mike Miller.
I can, if you can give me a phone number.
I'm gonna, reach out, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm gonna reach out to Kathleen Kubatar.
oh, yeah.
Her husband takes pictures, so I'll ask her.
He takes pictures at all events. I bet he has some good ones. That's a great idea.
And I think we need to, like, when you said thousands, we need to limit, you know, pick,
Mhm.
have the photographer, have Mike Miller, you know, somebody tell them what we're doing and what we're looking for, and then we don't need 500 photos of his out, you want to share and put on the website, let us put on the website type of thing.
Okay.
And same with Kathleen, I mean, we don't need his 3,000 photos, I mean, you know.
Did she give you a number on how, has she told Lauren how many pictures she needs?
You need, like,
Or
she
like
said
these heart and soul pictures?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
So I'll
that's
ask
a
her on
good
that.
question. Yeah,
Okay.
because the limit will be placed on how many heart and soul photos are taken, as every opportunity will be used to capture these shots as I see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll email Amy that this morning.
Right, because if we only need 10, $1,300 out of our reasonable amount, but if she's gonna provide us with, 200, or whatever the number, like, that creates our new database, and then we go, if we use these for years, so maybe that's an investment.
Okay.
All right.
What was the changing of the website? Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt the meeting, but right now, if our website, if there's a point in it of promoting the car show and the spring activities and Swedish Festival, we're able to change that fairly easily? Is that a true statement? Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's a database of photos and all of a sudden we get to October and we want to start promoting our Christmas and that it'll be easy to switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess I was paying attention at previous meetings, so.
No.
That's a good question. We've gone through a lot of stuff, so that's a good question. There's a lot of info.
I have to sit down in my car pretty quietly and think about it. Okay, all right, moving on then. Everybody has their homework, and we will be in contact with y'all, and next week we'll see, I'm sure we're gonna find all that good stuff.
And you're gone for how long?
I'll be back Friday afternoon. I don't know to work or not, but I'll definitely be back to work on Monday.
Okay.
Okay, and then moving on to item 6, any other business? All right, moving on to item number 7, adjourn and decide our next meeting will be
First Wednesday in May.
May 4th is the first Wednesday. I won't be here, but, that's the first Wednesday.
You just gone that day?
No, I'm gone, that's the week of Monday. I'm gone May 4th and 5th, my kids graduated from college. And I'm here the whole rest of the month, every single day.
It's up to you guys. The meeting dates aren't set in stone. It's,
You wanna do the third, Leslie?
Monday the second, we did it Monday this,
Monday the 2nd would be good.
I'm fine with Monday the second.
Okay.
June?
So next meeting on Monday, May 2nd, Monday, May 2nd at 8 o'clock. All righty. Nothing else, adjourned.